Hey kindergartners, it's Mrs. Seals back for our next science lab. We are still talking about that word properties, which remember are different ways that we can observe and describe objects. We've talked about the property called shape. And last week we talked about a property called size, which means if something is big or small. This week we're going to be talking about another property, which is called weight. And weight has to do with how heavy or light something is. Okay, so your target says, I can observe and record properties of objects, including heavier and lighter. So we're going to be talking about some different things and if they are heavy or light. And then I'm going to be showing you how to use a science tool called a balance. And this is a tool that's used to compare two objects and find out which one is heavier and which one is lighter. If you are joining me in person in the science lab, you will get to use the primary balance, so make sure you're paying attention, all right? Okay, so this says heavier or lighter, and there's your target again. I can observe and record properties of objects, including heavier or lighter. What is weight? Weight describes how heavy or light an object is. Some objects are heavy. So before we talk about some objects that are heavy, I want to know, how do you know if something is heavy? That's a good question, right? Without measuring it with a scale or a balance, how do I know if something is heavy? So let's look at some objects and we'll see if we know why they're heavy. A big truck is heavy. An elephant is heavy. A couch, a fish tank, a piano, and a big rock that we call a boulder. All of these objects are heavy. The reason I know that all of these objects are heavy is because they're all very difficult to pick up. That's how I know if something is heavy, if it's difficult to pick up. What can you find that is heavy? So I don't want you to get up and bring the things over. I just want you to look around where you are and see if you can find or think of some things that are heavy. Pause the video, and then when you get back, we'll go ahead and move on. What are some things that are heavy? Some objects are light. A paper clip is light. A balloon is light. A feather is light. Paper is light. Tissue or Kleenex, and a leaf. All of these objects are light. And the reason that I know they're light is because they are very easy to pick up. Okay, I told you heavy objects are difficult to pick up. Light objects are very easy to pick up. What can you find that is light? So again, you don't need to get up and bring it over. I just want you to look around where you are and see what can you find, what can you think of that is light? Let's practice. Which of these objects are heavy? Let's think about this. We have 6 objects. The first one, this is called a steamroller, and this is a piece of machinery that's used in building streets and roads and things like that, and it smooths out or flattens out the pavement, okay? It has to be able to push down really, really hard. So think about, would that be difficult to pick up or easy to pick up? If you think the steamroller is heavy, give me a thumbs up. You think it's heavy? I agree with you. A steamroller, let me get my pen here. A steamroller has to be very heavy because it has to push down really, really hard in order to build the streets and the roads. Good job. What about a bowling ball? Is a bowling ball heavy or light? Show me with your thumbs. Thumbs up if you think it's heavy. I agree with you. A bowling ball is heavy. It is hard to pick up. Good job. What about popcorn? Is popcorn heavy or light? Hard to pick up or easy to pick up? It is easy to pick up. You are exactly right. Popcorn is light. What about a cotton ball? Heavy or light? I think it's light too. I agree with you. The cotton ball is very easy to pick up. What about a bubble? Heavy or light? Definitely light. It's filled with air, and air is very light. Good job. And our last one is a car. Is a car heavy or light? A car is very difficult to pick up. Good job. Cars are heavy. Wow, you guys did awesome. How do we measure how heavy or light something is? Well, I'm going to tell you. To measure how heavy or light something is, we use a tool that looks like this called a balance. And this compares two objects to find out which one is heavier and which one is lighter. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you how to use today. If you are in the science lab with me learning in person, make sure you are paying attention, because in just a couple minutes, you're going to be going to the tables and you will be getting to use this balance. And I want to make sure you are using it the right way. Okay, so let's see if we can zoom in here. So here is my balance. And these two parts of my balance, these are called the pans. Can you say pan? So you might hear this called a pan balance. You might hear this called a primary balance, or you might just hear it called a balance. All of those things mean the same thing. And remember, this is a tool to compare two objects and find out which one is heavier. So at your table, you are going to have this bucket of all these different objects. When it's your turn, what you're going to do is you're going to pull out two objects. It doesn't matter which one you pull out, which ones you pull out, okay? I'm going to pull out this bottle of glue, and I'm going to pull out this box of crayons. Now, let me move this so you can see my face. Before I put the objects in my balance to compare which one is heavier and which one is lighter, I'm going to make a hypothesis. If you think back to the very first science lab, when I talked about a hypothesis, I told you that a hypothesis is a prediction or a guess about what's going to happen in an experiment. It's okay if your hypothesis turns out to be wrong, okay? It's just to see what you are thinking. So your teacher knows what you are thinking. So before I actually put them in the balance, I'm going to feel them and I'm going to guess. I think that the crayons feel a little bit heavier, okay? I'm going to tell the people at my table which one is heavier. I'm making my guess. I think the crayons are heavier. After I have made my prediction, then I'm going to use my balance, okay? Notice when I put these objects in my balance, I'm setting them in, very gently. I'm not throwing them. I'm not dropping them. I'm not pulling on the balance. I'm being very gentle, okay? So here are my crayons, and here is my glue, okay? The side with the crayons is down. That tells me that the crayons are heavier than the glue, or we could say the glue is lighter than the crayons, okay? Let's try another one. I'm going to carefully take these out. I'm going to put them back in the tub. Then I'm going to pass the tub to the next person at my table, and it's their turn. They're going to pull out two objects. I'm going to get this tennis ball and scissors. What do I need to do before I put the objects in the balance? Very good. I need to make my hypothesis. So I'm feeling them. I'm touching them. I'm going to make a guess. I think that the tennis ball is heavier. Feels like it weighs more than the scissors. All right, so I told my friends my prediction, my friends at my table group. Now I'm going to test it out. I'm going to carefully put, let me move this out of the way. That could mess up our results. I'm going to carefully put the scissors on one side and carefully put my tennis ball on the other side. Whoa, the side with the tennis ball went down. That means the tennis ball is heavier than the scissors. Okay, then I'm going to take my objects out, put them back, pass the tub to the next person. If it is not my turn, I am not touching the objects. Okay, we're taking turns. When it's your turn, you pick two objects, you feel them, you make your prediction, you test them out with the balance, then you put it back in the tub. Got it? Please make sure that you are not playing. These objects are not toys. These are being used for science tools. All right, I hope that you guys had fun, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.